A Pacific Isle turns deadly for mermen. Japanese captives battle a savage beast capable of shrieking crocodiles in a hellish fight for survival. In their desperate flight, they stumble upon a shocking revelation. Coming in 2025, the terrifying new monster thriller War and I. During WWII in the Pacific, a Japanese POW transport ship comes under sudden attack. Flames erupted at sea, thick smoke engulfing the waters. As the ship sinks rapidly, two prisoners find themselves marooned on a desolate island. At sunrise, Taro groggily opened his eyes to the new day. He was chained to an American soldier by iron shackles. Nearby, a lifeless body lies where the tide left it. Taro had just pulled his gun when the American soldier suddenly awoke. He immediately launched at the Japanese soldier. Blinded by rage, they quickly descended into a violent struggle on the beach. Unnoticed, something emerged from the water behind them. The American soldier started winning the fight. A powerful force yanked him backward, only the chain kept him from being pulled into the sea. Taro was shocked and quickly picked up the gun to pull the trigger. The shadow vanished beneath waves. The cold seawater brought them to their senses. They finally understood their greatest danger wasn't their opposing positions. The heavy iron chain binding them shows they're Japanese prisoners of war. No point killing each other here. Logan, always cheerful by nature, proposed they should work together. Their only chance against that creature. The island must be close to the sunken warship, with supplies and corpses scattered all along the shoreline. Logan found a metal gear ideal for prying open crate locks. They felt relieved knowing supplies would not be a concern for the time being. As evening approached, Taro cooked Logan a seafood banquet with tools found on the beach. With their hunger satisfied, their minds turned to long-term survival. Forget about rescue for now. Their top priority was breaking free from these leg chains. Logan remembered the gear from earlier. He hammered at it for minutes, but the chain held strong. Taro, who knew shackles well, pointed to the ankle joint as the weakest spot. Logan was hesitant, but Taro's meaning was crystal clear. Logan swung with full force and the chain shattered with a loud snap. The two cheered excitedly, but Logan hesitated when his turn came around. If Taro missed the mark on purpose, Logan would lose his lower leg for sure. Logan decided to take the risk. The gear slammed down, shattering the chains around his ankles, and Logan exhaled in relief. Their trust in each other grew. Birds burst from the trees. Taro sensed danger and crept closer to Chet. Strange footprints guard the beach, proof the creature had come back. Noise erupted from the shore to Japanese soldiers, marched to local fishermen onto the island. Their traces remained uncleared, making their presence certain to be exposed. Taro acted fast. Hide, he ordered Logan, staying to face the soldiers alone. The dying campfire immediately heightened the newcomers' vigilance. Moving stealthily toward the fire, they soon spotted Taro by the flames. He lied. Got separated from my unit this morning. His fluent Japanese gradually eased the two soldiers' wariness. Logan nearly sighed in relief, then noticed the creature stealthily observing the soldiers from the shadow. Damn it, he cursed silently, praying they wouldn't notice him. Luckily, the creature vanished again soon enough. The two soldiers settled by the campfire. Two canteens on the ground instantly put them on alert. Taro gave a hesitant nod, missing Logan's discarded GI jacket. The two soldiers exchanged a glance and silently stood up to surround Taro. One pulled up his pant leg, exposing the prisoner's anklet. There was no hiding it now. Taro was an escaped war criminal. Just as they moved to question him about his partner, a guttural howl came from the brush. The locals faced twisted in horror. Fish minus man, he shrieked. He knew this monster all too well. Everyone was stunned into stillness. They never hesitated when facing enemies in battle. Facing such an unearthly threat, even the bravest would feel uncertain. A shivering soldier crept into the dense grass, groping his way toward a dark cave when a horrifying figure suddenly loomed behind him. The soldier spun around only to have his arm cleanly severed. Taro's guard was utterly terrified. Logan sprang from the darkness and killed him with one swift slash. Simultaneously, the cave soldier met his gruesome end. Taro and his companion dove for cover in the tall grass. The lone fisherman trembled in terror. He fled only when the mermaid monster appeared. He barely took 2 steps before the monster tackled him. After seeing the merman's horror, Taro and his partner knew they had to move. They dove into the thick jungle, but the monster was right behind them. Logan tripped on a root and went down hard. This time he saw the monster clearly, its dagger minus like fangs like a beast. Taro came back just in time, slashing at the creature before dragging Logan away. Blind with panic, they missed their footing and plunged down the sheer cliff. They regained consciousness at dawn the following day. The monster didn't follow, but they'd lost each other in the escape. Logan was unlucky with a raging waterhole behind. Logan had the worst luck, falling straight into the freezing rushing waters. Logan gulped down water repeatedly before being carried downstream. Heart still pounding, he turned to see the mermaid monster bellowing from the cliff above. Reluctant but resigned, Logan knew he had to go back the way he came. His only hope to leave the island was reaching the beach again. Struggling upstream drained Logan's strength, forcing him to stop and rest. Out of nowhere, a crocodile appeared beside him, terrifying him instantly. He froze, too terrified to move. Luckily, the crocodile dismissed him and slid into the river. Logan knew he had to leave immediately. Logan pressed on up the trail when that familiar way echoed again. He peeked and saw the merman cleaning its wounds by the river. The wound was likely left by Taro's earlier strike. A crocodile suddenly pulled the creature underwater. Logan's heart leapt. Then the merman erupted from the water, ripping the crocodile apart. The creature was deadliest in its element. Logan pressed on up the trail without hesitation. Taro was far luckier as he discovered a crocodile lying nearby on the ground. Wading through water, he stayed alert for the monstrous merman. Blocked by boulders, he teetered onto the mountain path. No sooner had Taro entered the woods than he saw a body dangling from a tree. While trying to identify the corpse, he accidentally fell into a pit. To his horror, a decomposing merman lay inside. Steadying himself, Taro climbed out of the pit and identified the hanging corpse as a pilot who had crashed. His parachute snagged on the tree. Then the merman attacked. He shot the beast dead with his gun but died from wounds. Taro grabbed the pilot's gun, still loaded with a few rounds. Returning along the path, he saw a wrecked fighter plane by the creek. That must have been the dead pilot's aircraft. As night descended, Logan stumbled his way to the edge of the water. His first thought upon seeing the wreck was to gather supplies. He made a rough spear from scrap metal and started looting the cockpit. Along with a flare gun and lighter, Logan found an axe. As he reached for it, he spotted a missile dangling under the way. The sound of footsteps came from behind. Taro had returned from his scouting mission. Taro spotted a cave not far ahead, its dark interior concealing something peculiar. Guided by the lighter, they crept deeper into the cave. The sight before them left them completely stunned. A massive egg hung in the air, its shell faintly showing a merman's shadow. This cave turned out to be the mermaid monster's lair. Logan wanted to smash the giant egg immediately, but Taro warned it might anger the monster. As they argued, Logan came up with a plan that worked for both. They returned to the plane wreck and worked together to remove the missile. Logan aimed to destroy both the monster and its lair. But after setting it up, Logan found the missile's timer was damaged. It's hard to fix without the right tools. Logan recalled the cockpit axe, forcing them to leave the cave again. They heard the monster's distant screeches outside. Worried about an attack, Logan shot a flare to light up the area. He grabbed the axe from the cockpit, but it was rusted and jammed in place. Taro stood ready with his sword, spotting the mermaid monster emerging. He lunged forward to attack. He was quickly overpowered, but Logan pulled the axe free just in time. They hacked at the monster, leaving deep gashes across its body. The flare died out, and the wounded merman slipped back into the shadows. Logan and Taro wasted no time and dashed back to the cave with the axe in hand. After struggling, they fixed the missile's timer. The mermaid monster suddenly sprang from the darkness, lunging at Logan, knocking him down. Taro slashed wildly, but the monster shrugged off the blows. The monster effortlessly stabbed Logan in the gut. Taro quickly pulled out his pistol and fired several shots, but the bullets merely caused minor wounds on the tough merman. Desperate, he turned his gun on the massive egg. A gunshot rang out and the embryo tumbled from the egg. The merman shrieked in agony, and others' grief knows no bounds. Logan, knowing he was done for, gave Taro his dog tag and told him to run. As the merman grieved, Taro fled the cave, looking back in fear. Logan swung his axe with all his strength, smashing the missile's timer. The cave erupted in a massive explosion of flames. Taro stood frozen with sorrow, silently mourning for a moment before he turned and walked toward the beach. To his complete surprise, the mermaid monster was still alive after the explosion. Ordered, Taro tightened his grip on the katana, ready for a last stand. The merman hid in grass, spotting Taro's distant figure. It pounced with lethal intent, only to strike a dead soldier's rig minus a corpse. The real Taro lay hidden in a nearby sand pit. He burst out and slashed the merman repeatedly. With death minus divine fury, Taro's blade became an extension of his will. He finally hacked the mermaid down, but as the killing blow loomed, he stayed his hand. A grim truth haunted him: there were the trespassers here. Bleeding and exhausted, he reached the shore, but the flare gun clicked empty. Taro gave a bitter laugh and shook his head. He would die on this island. When he woke up again, he was aboard a warship. The U Navy had found and rescued him. Logan's dog tag earned him better treatment. Taro finally explained why he became a Japanese prisoner of war. He killed his commanding officer for issuing orders that sent soldiers to their deaths. Taro fell silent, staring out at the sea, remembering Logan, a comrade known for barely 2 days. And that's Soran Naikin in a nutshell. The plot feels hastily thrown together, and the monster appears blatantly cheap. At this point, if Ultraman showed up, I wouldn't bat an eye. Just giving you all a heads minus up on this one. If you enjoy Ultraman fighting monsters, check out the original. That's our time for today minus. Catch you next episode.